One thing I've come to realize is that most people who have moved to Canada, that are already in Canada as PR holders and are trying to get a master's degree in social work, sometimes find it difficult. I don't know why. People have asked me several times that did I come to Canada with a job offer on my social. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Obehi. I'm a social worker and a content creator based in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. And on here, I share my life experience, just hoping that you pick something from me and I also learn something from you. Anyway, on today's video, I'm just going to be answering a few questions some people have asked me regarding social work. And I hope that this in some way helps you to, reach your goal to becoming a social worker someday. One thing I want to put out there is just a disclaimer saying social work is not for everybody. You know, the fact that I do social work or somebody does social work, it might not just be for you. Now, it depends on the kind of social work you get into, and it depends on who you are as a person, the passion you have for the career. As we all know, every career is challenging, and social work comes with its own challenges. But if you're a person that wants to make a positive impact in people's lives, yeah, social work is good for you then. But if you cannot stand the stress, for example, driving, like you have to drive like long miles, but it depends on the kind of social work you are doing, like I said earlier. So if you don't like to drive, obviously you cannot go into like children and family social work because that entails a lot of driving. But if you have a passion for social work, it's a very fulfilling career, and it's rewarding. In a nutshell, it's very rewarding. So yeah, today I'm just going to be answering the questions like I said earlier. What I'm going to do is I'll just read out the question and answer the questions as best as I can. So I'll be starting with this question I got just this morning. So the person say, I am from India and I'm your YouTube channel subscriber for a long time. Thank you. I am happy and proud of how you're sharing lots of information. It is very helpful for many people from all over the world who are seeking to be social workers. He says that his fiance has a bachelor in social work and a master's in social work, and that they plan on coming to Canada. He said he's trying to just know what kind of post diploma certificate they can do to help them come to Canada. Now, basically, what I'll just say to you is if you already have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in social work, what I would advise you to do is just have your credentials accredited by Canadian Association of Social Workers. I've done a video some time ago just explaining the process of getting your credentials accredited by Canadian Association of Social Workers. So that's the best thing for you to do. You cannot just assume within you and say, because I did my social work in India, or because I did it in Nigeria, or because I did it in Kenya, it cannot be equivalent. You do not know, right? So don't make that judgment yourself. Just put your certificates together, your transcripts, your bachelor's degree, master's degree transcript, everything. Have them sent to the Canadian Association of Social Workers, and they will do an evaluation that they will let you know if your credentials are equivalent to that of Canada. And if it is, once the accreditation is out, the best thing for you to do is jump on Indeed or any of those job banks, LinkedIn, and look for jobs. Now, there's one thing I would say. It is easier to find jobs in smaller cities than bigger cities. So, like in Saskatchewan, there are places like North Battlesford, Estevan, Prince Albert, small cities like that. They need social workers. They need a lot of social workers. But people that are already social workers in like Regina and Saskatoon will not want to move to those smaller remote cities. So for you to stand a chance to get a job, I just think it is best for you to check smaller cities. Even the northern Canada, all those areas too are looking for social workers, and it is just more practical for you to check those smaller cities because I'm sure they might be willing to like maybe sponsor you or stuff like that. So yeah, but the first thing you need to do is just have your credentials accredited. Once they're equivalent to that of Canada, you'll be able to explain to the recruiter better and say my credentials are equivalent to that of Canada, so you can stand a better chance to getting a job. The person says, I have a 2-year diploma in social development and administration and a 3-year degree in social work from the University of Nigeria. Now, what course do you think I can take in Canada? Now, for me, if I were this person, since I already have a bachelor's degree in social work from Nigeria, the best thing is just have it accredited. Like I said earlier, you cannot just conclude and say, oh, my credentials is not valued. The best thing for you to do is just check if it is equivalent. If it's equivalent, then there's no point going to school to go and start all the way from bachelor's degree. One thing I've come to realize is that most people who have moved to Canada, that are already in Canada as PR holders and are trying to get a master's degree in social work, sometimes find it difficult. I don't know why. I can't explain what the reasons are. I just feel like in the UK it's easier to get admission. So what I usually say is that try to apply to schools that are in the UK. For one, it is cheaper, and secondly, it's easier for you to get admission. Unlike in Canada, it takes a lot, and most of the schools that offer social work in Canada expect you to do research, field research, and that also can, for you to find a professor that is willing to take you on and all that might be a bit cumbersome. So yeah, the best thing if you already have a degree in social work is just check first if it's accredited before you now think of doing another program or anything like that. So somebody asked another question, and she said, at what point do they need the IELTS results in the registration process, and would they be required at the CSW or provincial level? And can the following results be acceptable for social work registration? Listening 7.0, writing 6.0, speaking 8.5, reading 6.5 with overall score of 7.0. So the truth is that when you're doing your CSW accreditation, you are not required to submit any IELTS results. So I was not at any point asked to submit IELTS results. Maybe when you want to apply to schools or when you want to apply for visa, you might be asked to submit your IELTS result, but IELTS was not required for the CSW accreditation. Even at the provincial level, it was not required. Nobody asked me for that. So you are not required to provide IELTS scores for your accreditation. Then the next question she asked was, what is the maximum time for waiting approximately before the whole process is done, both at the CSW level and at the province? So for the CSW level, it took me about 7 weeks. It says between 6 to 8 weeks, but at 7 weeks, mine was already, like, it was ready. So it takes between 6 to 8 weeks. And because I asked CSW to send a letter to the province stating that I was accredited, so they did that. And by the time it got to the province, what really delayed me in the province was me getting my placement tutor to refer me. So that reference took a while. But if it was just the accreditation, it doesn't take a long time at all. I think on the website it says it takes between 4 to 6 weeks, but mine was very fast. I think it took like about 2 weeks. So it was pretty fast. Then another question she said is, would you be in the position to help someone in the whole process at a fee, since you have been through the process before, giving technical advice and maybe checking the documents before they are submitted? I'm sorry. I'm a very busy person. Like, social work can be very demanding. Plus, doing YouTube on the weekend and some other things that I have, and I'm a mom. So I might not be able to help you to scrutinize your documents or stuff like that. What I can do is give you information which I'm sharing right now. But if you go on the website and you ask them questions, send them emails, they are very responsive. They will answer you and tell you what you need. Now, if you send the documents to them and something is missing, they are very well good at letting you know what's missing, and they will tell you what you require to, have your credentials done. So you really don't need anybody to do it. Everything is on the internet. All you need to do is to provide what is needed. If it takes you 3 months, 4 months to get all those things together, they will have your documents, like they will have your file kept aside pending when your documents is ready, and then they will do the accreditation for you. So you really don't need me or any other person to do this process for you. It can be easily done yourself. Then this person asked the question. She said, I only have a master's in social work. And then she put all the courses that she has done with the units. And then the question she said is, I know you do not work with CSW. However, do you think these courses will be equivalent to a Canadian master's degree in social work? You already answered the question yourself. I don't work with CSW. I don't know what they are looking at. I don't know what course description or what they expect you to have done. All I know is that if you have a master's degree and you send your transcript to them, they will look at it and do the evaluations themselves. So the best thing for you is just send your credentials to them, send your transcript to them, send everything that they need, and they'll do the accreditation and they will let you know if it's equivalent or not. I really don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. And then she said, what do you think should be the minimum hours for field practicum, should field work that will lead to your credentials being accredited? Honestly, when I did mine, I didn't do per hour. Like it wasn't calculated per hour for me. It was a 70-day one. That was the first practicum was 70 days, and then the other practicum was 100 days. So I didn't do hours. But when I submitted my stuff to CSW, they wanted me to convert it to hours, which I tried to do. I don't remember how much it came, how many hours it came to, but it was well over 1,000 hours, right? And here in Canada, I know that they will expect you to do between 450 to 700 hours for practicum, field practicum. So yeah, as long as you have done the master's degree and then they gave you a certificate saying that you have completed your master's, just send it to them and they will do the accreditation and they will tell you if there's anything needed, they will tell you what to do. They would even signpost you to where you're supposed to get what you need. So you don't have to worry yourself with the technicalities of how it's accredited. Even if you don't have everything that it needs, like I said, they would signpost you to letting you know what you need to get your accreditation done. So that shouldn't be a problem. So another person asked me that what are the universities in Canada that offer social work? Okay, so the University of Regina, University of Manitoba, University of Newfoundland, the York University, and the University of Calgary. All these universities offer social work, and the school fees ranges from 11,500 Canadian dollars all the way to 30,000 Canadian dollars per year. Per year. But I tell you, in the UK, it's usually between um, £5,700 to about say £20,000 pounds. It's a lot cheaper. People have asked me several times that did I come to Canada with a job offer on my social work? No, I already applied for PR. I already had my PR before I came here. I knew I was going to come here after my master's degree program. So when I got here, I just did my accreditation and then got a job. I'm just going to let you know what the requirements are. I know I'm kind of a little bit all over the place. I've been struggling to film this video all day. My mic has not worked. Right now, as I'm talking to you, it's 9 p.m. and I'm just trying to make sure that I put out this video today. So pardon me if it feels like I'm everywhere. I'm trying my best with what I have right now. So anyway, just to let you know what the requirements are for you to get into a social work profession, you need to have your post-secondary qualifications. So if it's WAEC, NECO, A levels, whatever, just have a post-secondary degree, and then you need IELTS. You need to do IELTS, and you need to have, I think, between 7 and 9 as your score. I'm not sure if it's the general or the academic, but because it's just English proficiency, I'm sure general should be good. But you need to find out from the school which one they will require. Also need to fill an application form. Of course, you go to the website, you fill an application form. Everybody knows that in Canada you pay for application. It's between 100 and 120 Canadian dollars. Some schools take 100 Canadian dollars per application. Some schools take 120 Canadian dollars. So you pay your application fee. After that, you need to send your transcripts from the school that you went to. So let's say you already went to a school before. Maybe you did a diploma course before, or you did a postgraduate course before, or maybe you have BSc before. So you need to send those transcripts to the school. Also be needing to provide a statement of purpose. This statement of purpose, you need to explain to them why you feel social work is for you. You need to explain your passion for the job. If you have done any form of job that relates with social services, maybe you've worked in a care home, you've worked in an orphanage, you've even worked within the community, maybe you've helped with community service, you have helped youth, or maybe you are even a coach of children that play football within the community, stuff like that. Those are community development, community enhancement stuff that you've done. So do well to put it in your statement of purpose. Just try and write a convincing statement of purpose stating why you feel you want to do the social work profession. The next thing you'll be required to do is get a letter of recommendation. Now, this letter is can be written by either a pastor or a lecturer or a teacher, just somebody in the community that is noble, that knows you and that can vouch for you and say, this person is going to do well on the course, or this person is a person of integrity. Now, when you're working as a social worker, you're working with a vulnerable community, you're working with people that are struggling with drug misuse, you're working with children, families. So they need you to have integrity, not to have a bad background. So they just need somebody that can vouch for you that you are going to be a good person on the course. Another thing that will be required of you is your resume. That's your CV. They want to see where you've worked in the past. So even if you've not worked in any care home before, you don't have any social services background, that doesn't mean, as long as you can explain to them in your statement of purpose that you are just wanting to change career because you have a flair for the profession, just write a convincing statement of purpose and then provide your resume. Final thing, last but not the thing, is the shaders. They want to know that you have money. As long as you can prove that you can pay the school fees, you can afford it. That's all they want to know. Once you can do that, put in your application, and who knows, you might just get the course. One thing I want to say for sure is that social work is a very, very rewarding profession. As long as you love it and you put your mind to it, you are going to enjoy it. It's a profession that has longevity, and most social workers that I know are hardly out of job. People do social work and then quit social work. Maybe they have given their all and just feel like it's time to step back. Some people leave frontline social work and then go into doing stuff like maybe sports social work or policy, or just working like a charity because they don't want to be in the forefront anymore. Now, social work too has a lot of branches. There's some people that work in the hospital, that are medical social workers, school social workers. It's very vast, and that's why people love social work. And I feel like it's a good profession. So if you know that you have a flair for helping people in any way, or maybe you just want to be able to write policies that will favor the less privileged or fight against injustice in the society. I know I've rambled a lot in this video. Like I said earlier, it is 9 p.m. I have struggled a lot to put this video out. I struggled with my mic today. It's just been a lot, but I'm like, I have to do this today because I said I was going to do it today. And I don't like to get, I've filmed this video. In fact, this is the fourth time I am filming this video today. That's just been one thing or the other. But anyway, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you've watched to this point, have you subscribed? If you've not, what are you waiting for? And if you're a social worker in Canada and you know some other things that people can do to help them migrate easier as a social worker to Canada, please do well to leave it in the comment section. And if you know anything that will be useful to people, do well to leave it in the comment section. Like I say every time, if you have any questions, send me an email. I'll do my best to answer as promptly and as clearly as I can. Until we see again in my next video, have a nice day, guys.